This will be a start to finish project with Bofan 888S, Raspberry Pi, and our sound cards. Well, it would help if we just had it right. So, we're going to be going through all of this and figuring everything out as we go. Brand new radios. What we're going to do is make one a transmit simplex, and the other one's going to be the handheld unit he's going to carry around the house. So we're going to take them apart and wire it up to the sound card, and I will go on step by step showing how to do that. That sound card will plug into the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi will need a SD card, and well, we're going to go step by step and figure out how to get it all done. Okay, so before we begin, let's take these radios. First thing we want to do is find out what our output is for each radio. And doing so, we have a dummy load and a UHF watt meter, SWR meter, with the adapters to hook up. So we're going to, right out of the box, let's see what this one does. Okay, so
power on 16.
Okay, so let's set this and turn this radio off back here. Ooh, yeah, let's readjust that. Okay, SWR's great for this radio, obviously with the dummy load, and we are putting out about 4 watts on this particular handheld. So we know this one is a 4-watt radio, and that's supposed to be a 5-watt. So obviously it shows you it's only 4 watts. Alright, so let's grab the next one out of the package and do the same thing to it. So we're going to take the battery from here and set that radio back in the package. Make sure it's off. Install battery. Hook it up. Okay, make sure all the connections are tight. All good. Okay, power on.
Power on 16.
Set it. Okay, set good. SWRs is great. Check the power. That one just a little bit more. So we're going to use that one probably. I'm trying to get the focus. Anyway, actually it's just a hair less. So this is going to be we'll mark this as one radio as a lesser power. They're not bad. They're both pretty close to the same. 4-watt radios, Bofan 888S's, pre-programmed, got little antennas and everything. So our deal today is this. We are disassembling these radios, installing a sound card that we're going to modify. Let's see if we can't get that to focus a little better. And it just doesn't want to focus for us. Anyway, you can purchase these from Amazon.com. I am trying to get the link set up for you, and we'll see if we can do that. Alright, so let's get busy. Get our tools out here and get busy on this. We're going to need a Torx tip number 8. Okay, so make sure all this is off. Make sure this is off. We don't need that no more. We don't need this no more. let me get my custom made tool right here. Harbor Freight works great. You can see how I cut the middle of this right here. It's so that I can get in and take these nuts off that's under these screws right here, these knobs. These little screws in here, you can see they sit down in there. Well, that's cut to go around those knobs. Works perfect. If you do a lot of these, I would invest. These are only $1 something at Harbor Freight. They work great. Most of these screws are loose already from the factory, so it's not going to be that hard to get them off. I mean, what do you expect? They're both fans. Okay, got them cracked loose. We're going to use a little screwdriver I have here just to spin them on out of here. And you can hear traffic driving by out there. It shows you how close this place is to the roadway here out here. Anyway, there's all three of them. You got your antenna, your channel changer, and your power and volume knob. Get those over out of the way for right now because we're not going to need them. Torx 8 right here in the bottom of this. Let's see right there. Take the screws loose. Screws loose. And that's out of the way. Now we need the little screwdriver again to get right inside of here. And I wish that focuses just a little bit better. I can't get it no better. Why? Why these things want to be difficult? Let's try that. See if that works. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I zoomed in a little bit and we're still going to go here. So just got to pry this out and up. Okay. Now, when you do this, you also want to open the side because these here are going to try to get stuck. Man, that's really out of focus again. Anyway, get them up, kind of push up, and this has got to push in at the same time. You got to push this in and this up and out. So I usually go in under the little screw hole right here, pull up and pull back. The other thing you got to watch is the wiring for the microphone is still connected to the circuit board on the back of the plate. So as you're pulling this out, hey, look at there, there's wires connected to the plate. Okay, so let's see. Speaker. We're going to be connecting the other points here, 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 and down here. Alright, let's pause for a second so I can readjust and refocus. Okay, so first thing I want to do is mark my speakers. That way there's no mistaking where the speakers belong. Okay, we're going to come in and we are going to attach wires, remove this light, unsolder this point in order to remove the board. So you have to unsolder here. And some of these radios you have to unsolder the antenna connector here. The reason for that is because it's stuck into the board, so you got to undo that. The screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to remove all the screws to get the board out. Okay? I'm trying to keep the focus working on this particular video because all my other videos I kept messing up on, so we're trying. Let's see. Alright, let's get this done. Alright, so first things first, we're going to remove the antenna lead here, the power wire here. Get that cleaned up so it'll come off there pretty easy. Okay. And I'm just going to be on the safe side here and do our speaker wires. If you just put a little bit of heat to them, you don't want to put too much because you'll end up melting stuff on the board, burning circuits up. Don't want to do none of that. Let's see, this particular antenna lead does not screw into the board. There's a little plastic sleeve on it right here. I was just going to try to show you, but don't need to. You know, the screws. Take the screws out, and this board should lift up off of here now. Little bitty screws. Don't lose them. Little bitty screws. Okay. Let's see. You can see how big they are by my hand. I mean, geez, huge, huge. Anyway, okay. Okay, so I'm going to put these screws over here in this little box so I don't lose them with the other screws and the knobs. All right, so now we can. Let's see. I'll try to bring this back out. Oh, don't wait. Okay, bring that up, and it should lift off the board. This one is actually stuck a little bit. You can see it starting to come up. It's actually pretty tight in there. Usually they're not that tight, but there we go. Okay, there's our little circuit board. And there's our humbling mess. So I'm going to try to make this focus right where we want it. Let's see something here. That's not going to work. So I need to readjust and make this work. And that's the readjustment to show the circuit board. That's that side, and there's the other side. Let's try to focus that one in a little bit better so we can see it like that. Okay, so little pieces here and there we're going to do. So right now we're going to take this light out so that we can run our wire up through that hole, since we're not going to be using that no more. Okay, so we're going to turn this over, and these little spots right here, here and here, we're going to heat up so we can just drop it out of there. Okay, so let's try to get in here and heat these up. My iron, I got it at 275. It's probably a little bit hot, but I am doing bigger items such like the antenna lead, the power lead, and stuff like that. So I want to make sure it's just enough to lose its contact on the solder to break it, so we can get this stuff apart. Well, I wanted that antenna lead out of there, but it's causing a little bit of problems here. Just a little bit of problems, so put a little pressure on it, a little bit of heat. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I just can't hold on to it right. It's just in a rough spot to do this, and there we go. Okay, remove the antenna connector, put it out of the way, open the hole. Solder suckers, my friend. Okay, get that out of the way. Got a nice little hole in there now. So let's do the lights now so we can get to it. Or the light, excuse me. One light. Okay, a little heat, a little clean, a little. Very careful in here, not touch nothing else. Can't put a lot of heat in here because the heat will damage other components on the board, and we don't want to do that. keep everything as possibly clean and less tampering with than need to be. Oh, I got to put it in the right spot. Come on. That's a little bit better. Still not all the way done. I'm putting a little pressure on it this way, pushing like this and pulling this way. Trying to ease the wires out. And it just don't want to budge. This is why we're doing the video like this, to show you it's not as simple as just jumping in and doing something. It takes a while sometimes. There we go, there we go. Lights out. Okay. Don't care about these holes because we're not going to use them again. The other thing I like to do on a simplex unit is for the reason of this. Whenever you key up your other unit and make their simplex unit key up and go to the network, this microphone is still picking up. So I usually take the microphone out so that somebody standing next to the simplex talking is not going to drown out you as you're talking on your handheld or mobile unit or whatever you're doing. Whoever's standing close to this, if they're talking, this is going to pick them up. So I usually take the mic out as well. Just a little precaution. You never know who's getting what and where they're going. So if we know that nobody's going to be hearing it, we don't have to worry about it, right? Now let's see if that come loose. Well, it got warm enough to make the plastic come off, the felt, excuse me, but it's not enough to come off the board yet. So I don't want to break nothing, so I'm going to heat this and push it at the same time to try to push the mic out without touching no other solder joints. And it's just being a little sticky, a little difficult. There we go. Just want to put a little pressure behind it right here. Not hard. If you try to put something underneath there and wedge it, you got to be careful because you don't want to bend this board and crack it. You don't want to break stuff off. You don't want to bust the mic. And yeah, you're not using it no more, but yeah, do you really want to tear stuff up? Anyway. Try to get a location here. I can put that in there with a little pressure on it and heat up our joints. Just being a little bit painted a booger right here. It's coming, obviously. It's just not coming right. Well, it did come off. Oh well, I broke it. That's what I was trying not to do, but it happens. So I'm trying to show a picture here. One wire came out and the other one did not. So that mic's no good anyhow. Alright, so let's make sure that wire is not going to touch nothing else and be on the safe side. So we're going to grab a hold of that little wire right there. Put a little pressure on the heater. And that one's being a little bit tough to get out of there. And burning the fingers. Ow! That's smarted. Yeah, see? It's not as easy as it looks, guys. It's easy, but not that easy sometimes. Just a little painstaking time, that's all. I sure hope this video is working right. Okay. Well, obviously it ain't going to touch nothing else, and I ain't going to sit here and fight with it for no hour trying to get this little bitty pin out where it needs to go. Otherwise, we'd be here all night. And I'm not in the mood to be here all night. And I don't think you guys are either. I know people are probably not going to like these videos, and you know what? That's okay. I don't care. I'm doing them. You don't like it? Don't have to look at them, right? I'm good. It's all happy. We're all learning. We're all doing something. I'm just going to leave that pin. And I'll trim it so there's not so much sticking out. It ain't going to touch nothing, but I don't need it out there anyway.
The time is 8 p.m.
Okay. Alright, so we got that. That's ready to go. So now I need to get the wires up here and get them ready to be wired in and get that set up. Alright, so we are going to connect the green wire to the COS, which is going to be the first pin here. Pin number 1. The green wire is going to go just like that, right there. So we're going to set that up. We're going to tin our wire. It's a little bitty touch point, so we got to be careful not to over exaggerate the solder. And I did. Just like that. And it's starting to lift already, so that is not good enough. Okay, so I'm going to put a little tinning on the chip. I use liquid flux. Makes it a lot nicer. Just like that. Bring our green wire back into it. Make sure it doesn't touch no other pins. Alright, show you how we run the wire up through this side. Because you don't want to run. Okay.
A-R-E-P.
We are going to reinstall. Got to get the antenna lead back through the antenna hole. And the power lead through the power hole. And we gotta have this in the right spot. And it's not. There we go. Antenna lead. Where did the W at? And the power lead. You don't want to shove this on because the power lead may not be lined up. If you try to shove it down there, it'll just bend that power lead and it'll be out of the way. You won't even know it's not even working right. So make sure you got that power lead sticking up. Make sure you got the antenna lead coming up. Like that, we'll put a couple small screws in it just to hold this in place. This is just to hold this still. If you notice, I'll turn it backwards. You'll hear a click. You know that's where the threads line up. It keeps from tearing stuff up easier. You don't want to tear up the threads every time you pull it apart or whatever. Okay, so I am going to resolder the antenna lead right here. Because we're still going to use the same antenna. And we're going to take this red wire. I want to modify the length. It's going to come to the power source right here. That's coming from the battery. And I'm going to be using that to also power up the system and keep this battery charged on this particular radio. I like flux, makes things smoother. A little flux on there. There we go. That little white dot flux makes the solder suck right up to it. Boom, just like that. And we're going to take and put a little bit of flux on the power connection right here. Just put a little bit on there. Just like that. And the power wire will go to that point. Just like that. Done. Now we'll do our ground that we're going to connect to this surface here, because it's an excellent grounding position. So we're going to measure that one out, and we will cut the size on that one. Alright, now pause. I need the PTT is going to be this one, should be the second one down. There, and I need gotta remember what I'm doing here. So black and green, so green and blue is what I'm using here. Where is my pencil? There it is. So we got green, that's COS. Red is power. Black is ground. Blue, yeah, blue. And brown. And clear. Okay, brown is going to be ground. No, black is ground. So what am I missing here? 1, 2, 3. What are my 3 points? I already forgot. I can't think. Drawing a blank, man. Drawing a blank. What am I doing?
Onto the USB as an earth. Put these screws back on.
What is this? 68.
So we've soldered it back together. Put the connector here.
He's got a video in the background telling him what to do.
Put the 10K wire here and the 10K wire here, and then we've got the earth wire here sticking out the side.
But what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. Damn it! I can't remember what they're called. Alright, let me do this. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, right here. See, this circuit board for this one is like this other radio. It's not like this one. See how big that one?
I see it, yeah.
So it's a mic. That's what I want, mic. So brown will be the mic. And that's supposed to be a 10K. And this one is going to be clear, which is going to be the 68K, which will be the radio out. Sometimes you have to put resistors on these. That's why they're talking about putting resistors.
10K, 68K, all that, yeah.
Right. So we're going to find out if we need to do all that or not. I haven't decided if we need it or not. COS. So now I need the PTT. So blue is going to be P.
Yeah, blue will be your PTT, right?
Yep. That's why I was trying to figure everything out here. So not that one. This one right here. Okay. And what did I say?
Clear was
going to be up to this
Mike.
one. Okay, so let me turn this back on. And there you go. Just like that. Okay. Alright, so let's finish putting it back together. Backwards. Click and tighten it down. Okay. Well, okay, so I like all that. We're good with all that. So next, we're going to run it through this big old long piece. Remember talking about the light hole? Yeah, light. Yeah. It is what it is, a little bit of a tight fit, but we gotta make it work. And it will work. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to put it all the way up in here yet because I still got to hook that speaker back up to the little two black marks right there. And this wire is very sensitive. Let's see if I can't get in here and do it. Super thin wire. Breaks real easy. Breaks super easy. Clean some of that solder off. Alright, let's see if we can't do this. Let's push this back out a little bit, so I can try to show it a little bit better. Okay. We'll get one at a time here. There's one. And that second one, the wire's bent a little bit. There it is. And come on. This doesn't want to go where I want it to. There we go. Come on. Just like that. Alright, now just do the opposite of taking it apart. Oh, wait a minute. I need one little piece right here. Where'd it go? There it is. Little grommet. It goes on the side right there. That's what helps seal this up. You don't want to pull this all the way out, because you want a little back pressure in it to hold it into place. So I'm just kind of pushing it into place now, just like that. That way it's got a little tightness to it on the inside, and it kind of holds things better. It doesn't pull out so easy, get ripped out of the radio. There's that, and that. Okay. Let's start putting these guys back in. Okay. Refocused. So you can see what I'm doing right here. These are a little tricky. You push on one side, it flips the other side up. So you just kind of work with it until you get it. You will get frustrated with it. But once it gets started, you're good to go. See, that one didn't get to go. There it went. Then our trusty homemade tool. Do not over tighten them. Just put a little till it stops. That's all you need. When it stops, you're good. You can see how my tool's made right there. Made to go around those switches. Come on. Just like that. Okay.
FAM2.
Let's see. Oh, put them on backwards. I had a 50-50 chance and I still did them wrong. There we go. Short one's always on the volume knob. The tall one's for your switch channels. There we go. Okay. That completes the radio. That means the radio's done. Now, we'll just take this and move it around so we can hook up a Pi and a sound card to it.